Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Cage. I'm your host, Eddie Mafia. Hope everyone is doing well out there, and thank you for tuning back in. Appreciate it. If you're watching again, really appreciate the support. So, yeah, guys. So today we're diving into the Vasiliy Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell fight. Happened this past weekend, Saturday, August 31st at the O2 Arena in London, England. So switching gears a little bit, this is the first time I'm talking about an actual boxing match, which is pretty cool. I'm excited to dive into that. You know, I said last time that sport as well, just aside from MMA, I guess. So yeah, it was a big fight, so we're talking about that today, and then just hinting at some UFC 242 stuff because that is taking place tomorrow in Abu Dhabi at the arena, headlining Dustin Poirier versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Going to be a great fight. 2 p.m. if you want to check that out. Just, you know, for all my UFC people out there. So anyway, so Lomachenko versus Campbell. Everybody knows Vasiliy Lomachenko. He's established himself as one of the most elite boxers, I should say, in the world at this time. Probably the greatest amateur boxer of all time also. His record as an amateur was 396-1. He only had one loss. He's a two-time Olympic gold medalist. The first one was in 2008 in Beijing, and his second one was in 2012 in London. He earned himself gold medals in both of those Olympic Games. He's currently ranked the #1 fighter pound for pound by ESPN.com as well as The Ring. And like I said, he has pretty much now established himself as one of the elites of the time and of ever, arguably. And he was going up against Luke Campbell. He's from the UK. He also competed in the 2012 Olympics at 56 kilograms, and he earned the gold medal there for himself. He's 20-3, 16 wins by coming by way of knockout. So he's no joke, no slouch. And honestly, he really did take it to Lomachenko. I mean, it was a great fight overall. Campbell obviously coming in the underdog, but definitely showed up to fight. He definitely made a statement, I think, and proved that he could hang in there with some of the best. Kind of diving into the fight itself now. Rounds 1 through 4, pretty close. Back and forth a lot. Lots of trading, you know, kind of feeling each other out. There was sometimes, though, Campbell did have some very strong points throughout the fight, moving into the latter rounds. On the 7th, he was actually able to stun Lomachenko with a right hand as he was coming in. So he was moving towards Campbell, and he caught him with a left body shot that hurt him, and you could tell he was visibly stunned by it. He you know, was working in the clinch and really trying to close distance, but he quickly recovered. Loma started pushing back. In the 11th round, really was when Loma showed up. He knocked down Campbell with a body head combo, and that was kind of when, you know, he really solidified, I guess, you know, arguably solidified the fight in that round. But even though I would say he was up on the scorecards mainly throughout the rest of the fight, but Campbell really showed up. He put on a great performance. He left it all out there in the ring. He gave one of the best boxers in the world a run for his money. They both left a little bruised and battered. But one thing that really impressed me, Lomachenko specifically, Campbell as well, but more so for Loma, is just their overall stamina and cardio. They really were not showing any signs of fatigue until Lomachenko at all, but Campbell until the latter rounds, I guess I would say. But these guys just didn't get tired. It was actually really interesting to see how the pace was kept up throughout the course of the fight. Lomachenko, round after round, staying fresh, getting after it, throwing his combos, just slipping, sliding, being slick like he always is. And he just really, the conditioning is just insane for these two. But with Lomachenko, his style, it's so interesting because he'll throw a high volume. I was talking with my coach about this yesterday. He'll throw a high volume of punches, but a lot of which aren't even looking to do damage, just kind of set up. So he'll be in there and he'll have his he'll be throwing his jab, but it'll be slow. It'll be slow, and then he'll be feeling it out, moving around, and all of a sudden he just unleashes with a 5-6 punch combo, and it's coming from out of nowhere. And that's, I think, one way how he really is able to retain that energy and keep himself in that condition throughout the course of the fight as to not tire himself out. But it's really interesting to see, because you'll still get some statistics, and he'll throw, let's say, 500 punches in a fight, but a lot of which are just slow stuff to set up, bait his opponent, and then when he sees an opportunity, sees an opening, just kind of let loose. So he was able to do that. He did that a lot with this fight, and I think that really proved to help him in the end. So Lomachenko basically, he took the unanimous decision. Excuse me. 2 of the judges scored it 119 to 108, and the other one 118 to 109. So with the win, he retained his WBA and WBO lightweight titles and picked up the vacant WBC title as well. So shout out to Lomachenko, one of the best of all time. Luke Campbell, great fight, great performance, really showed up, gave the crowd what they wanted. So hats off to both of these fighters. And there's a lot more boxing action coming up also in the next couple weeks, so we'll be talking about that as well. But tomorrow, UFC 242, the long-awaited return of Khabib Nurmagomedov, coming off his suspension following the McGregor scuffle that started after their fight, and he's taking on Dustin Poirier. And then the co-main event, Edson Barboza is taking on Paul Felder for the second time. So that's the co-main event. We'll see how that plays out. I'll be coming back next week giving you that recap. But until then, this was a little bit of a shorter episode. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Coming back next week, giving you a recap of 242. And we'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in.